Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel, and before you ask, yes.
But we start with some breaking news.
I did bleach my hair, but that's not the point. So today, I'm going to be trying to make me, a not so Korean Englishman, I'm going to be making buda찌개, or Korean army stew, which is a traditional Korean cuisine that has dates, well technically roots, back to the Korean War, when a lot of Korean families were impoverished and they started making meals out of the rations that were provided to them by the US military, whether that's baked beans or spam. But just a disclaimer before I make it, there are a couple of ingredients I'm actually missing. Unfortunately, one of them is kimchi. Whoa. I know, but I looked in all the little Asian supermarkets near my place and unfortunately they were all out of stock. So I'm just gonna make with what I got. Also couldn't find any mushrooms, so I'm basically just using regular ones instead of shiitake, for instance. And yeah. Also, just to put it out there, I'm not going to bore anybody with what ingredients I'm going to be using or a detailed description of them. I'm just going to get straight into cooking. There's probably plenty of better videos to explain about the cooking than me, to be honest. I'm just seeing if I can actually cook it properly. Obviously minus the kimchi and minus shiitake mushrooms, of course. So as you can see, I've got a bit of rice prepping in the cooker already, and I've already started to prep a few things that we've got. Rip the kimchi.
Spam, 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 baked beans, spam, 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 and spam, spam.
That's a bit of tofu just under there. Got the spam, the hot dogs. I did find some rice cakes though, so that's a relief. And one of the most important ingredients I do have is gochujang, or Korean red chili paste. So that's another thing that we're just going to add there. And I guess I'll do a time lapse for the rest of the prepping. But as far as I've got some mushrooms going in there. Yeah, usually they serve a Korean army stew in like a big frying pan, but I'm scared that I might spill stuff, so it's going in a deeper cooking pan.
You're afraid to get wet.
And that there is for the chicken stock. But I know you can make stock out of a fish skin or use a fish stock which goes with it, but chicken stock apparently is also acceptable in this kind of meal. So far we've got a whole area for the rest of it, but it's but even without the kimchi it's actually looking okay. I also forgot to mention, this spot, this hole here would usually be for baked beans, but unfortunately we don't have any baked beans in the house either, so I thought I'd experiment a little bit with black beans. I guess this isn't really turning into a Korean dish at all.
Absolute disaster!
And now it's time for some sauce. So first, for the sauce, add a little bit of soy sauce.
Yeah, boy.
A spoonful of gochujang. Best way to get this off is literally just with your fingers. Yeah, come on.
Ha you fool! You fell victim to one of the classic blunders.
Some chili flakes. I just used any of them. You can use the specific Korean one if you want, but these are the only ones that I had in the house. But I also kind of like to use these little powder that comes with the instant noodles that we're going to use. Sorry for the terrible angling, by the way, guys. Let me move that up a tiny bit.
A new fantastic point of view.
Hopefully you can see a little better now. But yeah, I like to mix a bit of this in as well. Gives it a little extra flavour. A spoonful of garlic. A little dash of rice wine vinegar. Oh, that's more than a little.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
And a bit of black pepper. I'll be sure to give this a little taste with my fork. This is probably a little watery than it needs to, but I'm sure it'll taste very nice. And it does. I'll admit that does look a little bit watery for army stew. I'm sure it'll taste good though, but moving swiftly onwards, so everything is set there as it is. I'm not gonna lie, it actually looks pretty good for a kimchi-less Korean army stew. So I guess I'm gonna cook it and let the magic happen. Stick it on a high heat. Give that about 10 seconds or so, maybe a little longer, and then I'm gonna add the broth. Adding the broth. Oh, yeah. Oh. And I'll give that a nice and easy clean later. And we're going to take a bit of the sauce. I'm not going to lie, I've definitely made better sauce than this. And I'll put that in, and I'm going to put it at little different parts of the stew. Ooh. You get the picture. Check this out. Whoa. Put the ramen in. I'll let that simmer for a little bit longer. There we go.
Give a fuck what you heard, yeah, fuck what you...
Okay, so that looks pretty good to me. So first things first, I'm gonna grab a little bit of rice. This is actually harder when you're holding a camera, so cue to rice in the bowl. And that's my spoonful from everything. It was a little bit of a messy situation trying to get it out. And normally in Korea they would eat it straight out of the pot, but obviously this isn't the kind of pot that you can eat straight out of, so I had to go through the bowl. And yeah, my chopsticks, so I'm gonna try it. Here's my bowl. Apologies for the really terrible camera angle, but I'm literally just filming this on my smartphone. Well, technically an iPhone now. Ooh, and yeah, sorry for the messy situation, but just gotta work with what I got now. Spam's cooked very nicely.
Spam, 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 bakery, spam, 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 and spam. Spam, spam.
You can really taste the chicken stock in it as well. Let's see what the rice cakes are like. Nice, very flavourful. You got a bit of a kick from the gochujang as well and the chili flakes. Ooh.
Finally, some good fucking food.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought the mushrooms would have been a little bit undercooked, but it was cooked to perfection. The hot dog sausage. Again, cooked very nicely considering it was in a stew. When I can actually grab a bit of rice with these things.
And the reaction here in the studio, Righty can't watch.
Try a bit of ramen with rice. I think the ramen could have done it with a little longer, but it still tastes very good to me. I'm going to leave it there for today, but I hope you guys enjoyed watching despite the really bad camera angles and the fact that I forgot the kimchi and the baked beans, which are the traditional things that usually go in a budae-jjigae. Anyway, if you guys like that, be sure to like the video, subscribe, and turn on notifications for the next video I make. And who knows, I might actually learn to make other nice Korean cuisines, or just anything really other than food. I want to learn to make a load of things anyway, so you might see quite a bit of cooking on this one, with bad camera angles and very, very uneven shots. Thanks a lot, guys, and I'll see you later. Gochujang, 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 gochujang.